All right. This is first video that I'm attempting to make. Um, Welcome anyone that's watching this. Um, I'm gonna try to look at the camera as much as possible. Not something I'm great at. I'm not used to this. This is my very first, I guess, YouTube video that I'm doing on my own. Been on some other YouTube channels and videos. Feedback that I've gotten is that I don't like to look at the camera. I don't know why. I guess I feel like I can't look at the camera, but anyways, welcome for anyone who's watching this. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why does this channel exist? Reasons that I'll just get right into. First of all, I'm Cooper. Thanks for being here, whoever's watching. This channel is called Modern Mountain Roots, which I'll get into why it's called that. But yeah, the purpose of this channel, number one reason is there's a few main ones, but the most important one to me is I'm treating this as a journal. I really suck at writing, and I've been told my whole life that I should keep a journal. I understand that it's important. I've had, people like my grandpa pass away recently. My parents are getting older, and it just made me think, like, man, like I would really appreciate stuff that I could look back on, pictures, stuff that they wrote, things that they did to remember them by. Um, so that's kind of why I'm doing this now. I'm 32. I think I still have years to live, but I want to document this kind of stuff now, like things that I enjoy, just things about me, I guess. I don't think I'm anything special, but I hope that I'm viewed as special to my family members and want to provide a record of sorts to them, especially my children. I have two children. They're very young. My oldest is 3, and next is 9 months, and we plan to have more kids. But yeah, I just want to leave something for them to remember me by, as small as this may be, maybe insignificant, maybe it's still something. Um, as far as what will be like talked about on this channel, at least what I plan, it could be a gamut of things. I initially, I really into hunting right now. I've, I guess, been into hunting my whole life, but now that I'm a little bit older, I have a career. I have more time on my hands to do hobbies. Hunting is the primary hobby that I focus on, what I enjoy doing the most. That may change in the future. I don't foresee hunting going away ever for me, but currently, that's what I'm doing right now, what I enjoy. But it does not mean that this channel will be focused on only hunting. It could be a number of things like being a father, um, being a husband, just doing outdoor activities, personal values, how to navigate life. I don't know. Anything that maybe someone would put in a journal, I think should go on this channel. So maybe that's a little bit too vulnerable. I don't know. I don't really care if you're here to just follow along. This is, again, really for my family, first and foremost. So, but I am putting it out into the internet, to the ether, so to speak, for other people to follow along if they find value. Um, and I'm going to try to keep it at that, as far as I want to provide value, that the content is valuable to certain people. I think there's usually an audience that will find most channels valuable. Who knows? I'm not expecting, like, going into this thinking like, oh, I'm going to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Again, the main purpose is that it serves as a journal, as a way to document something that I'm passionate about, that my children can see. Dad was passionate about this X, Y, or Z, and this is what he learned, and this is what he experienced, and documenting some of those adventures. So that's point number one of why this channel exists. Point number two, um, we live in a digital age. I'm filming this on my phone. I'm on my phone often. I'm on the computer often, every day. I work an office job. I am tired of, I guess, just being a consumer of media, and want to, again, provide value to my family, but also others. and have a creative outlet doing that, and encouraging other people to do the same. I've probably thought about this for, I don't know, maybe up to 4, 5 years of just doing something, and I keep making excuses of why not to do it. I'm not very eloquent. I don't have a wide vocabulary. I'm not good at storytelling. Um, I don't know. I'm not like a creative person, but still feel like I need some kind of creative outlet. And this is the simplest form that I could think of, and easiest way for me to just prop my phone up on my tripod, sit in my garage, and talk to a camera. I have some other stuff I've ordered to try to like help film other adventures. Like, me and my daughter go on hikes, some daddy daughter time, and I want to be able to document some of that. So, um, but just as a way to create stuff, to create something, to um, have a creative outlet, whether people like it or not. I don't necessarily care. Like, I appreciate feedback, but my goal is not to get likes and subscribers. Like, I only want people to like and subscribe this if they find it valuable, and to comment things that they've learned, things that they appreciate, or things that they, keep doing this, don't do that. Great. But I don't feel like I'm doing this to be some influencer or celebrity. Again, I just want to provide content that is valuable to my family as far as memory serves, and second, just a creative outlet to other people. For me, this is for me to have a creative outlet and do something that makes me uncomfortable. I don't necessarily enjoy this, but I can talk in front of a camera, and putting it out there on the internet, I guess, gives me something to work out and get better at as far as talking, storytelling, etc. So that's point number two. It's a creative outlet for me. Again, I've thought about doing something like this for a while, or at least getting, I like the hunting industry. I feel like I should put myself out there more about like how passionate I am about it, and just do more what I'm passionate about. Talk about what I'm passionate about, basically. My upbringing out here in Utah, out west, um, I grew up going to the mountains a lot and doing activities like that's. We never. I grew up in southern Utah, and I'd only traveled to Nevada and California, and that's it. Like, those are the. I went to two other states, never even been to. I guess I've driven through Arizona, but I'd never been to Idaho, never been to Colorado, any other bordering states. Like, I had family in California, and we went to visit them in California. What we planned our trips around was going outside, going hunting. We'd call it the deer camp, and we'd go to the deer camp every single year. It's a priority, and we still do it today. Um, so I was brought up going to the mountains and looking forward to it every year, and going multiple times. Like, we just like to be in the mountains. That's what my grandpa was brought up doing. That's what my dad was brought up doing. That's what I was brought up doing, and I hope to do the same thing with my kids, and instill that in them as a value, that we enjoy being outdoors, and frankly doing hard things outdoors, whether it be gardening and producing your own food at a however large or small scale. Just finding value in being outside and doing work, and receiving the reward of your labor. So I guess that gets into like the mountain part of modern mountain roots. The modern part is just that we live in a modern time where the digital age is becoming more expansive, and um, I'm a firm believer is like, yeah, even though as much as I dislike the iPad kid um, mode of thinking, or not the mode of thinking, but that there's just so many people that are glued to their phones or iPads or computers. I get that. Like, I'm a part of that. Essentially, I don't like how much I'm attached to my phone, but I think it's silly to think that it's going away anytime soon, or that we'll get rid of technology, or that we'll just rid it of our lives. It's only going to get worse. So my mode of thinking is, let's build, like, if I'm not learning the habits, good habits and skill sets now to pass on to my children, of what's a good healthy amount of technology and interaction, or how can we use it to help us and not hinder us. um, that's my job, to learn how to do it in this new age and pass that skill set along to my children. And that's kind of like the modern part, as well as like, I work an office job at a computer, like I said, and in this digital age and raising kids in a digital age, but still trying to get them outside. So it's like we've got a modern times, modern digital age, but still prioritizing getting outside in the mountains and spending time outdoors. And then roots is just, kind of, I guess, self-explanatory, is that building those roots like I had and instilling that into my children, and um, living this modern age in the mountains and building those roots. That's kind of how the name came about. The logo I created, I guess some background on the logo, um, goes back to this point. One of the main things I like about this logo and how I try to live my life is a balance in all things. Um, like I said, I think it's silly to say that technologies, we're just going to get rid of it. It's never going to be a part of our lives. It's only going to get worse in the future. So I think having a healthy balance of technology and being outdoors is, part of the main purpose of this channel, is to encourage that kind of lifestyle, and for my, future family and um, kids and their kids and so on and so forth. Um, the mountains, obviously, and that's, mountain roots, the roots part of modern mountain roots. And the last thing is, I talked about the balance of the white background and black. Um, the outside has sun rays, that has a black background. So the reason that exists is I feel very strongly about keeping a positive attitude regardless of circumstances. Um, Part of, a lot of values found in being outdoors is doing hard things and having a good attitude about doing those things. Both my parents and my grandparents are, taught the value of working hard. And as a kid, initially it sucked. Like I just never looked forward to it, but I eventually have gained the appreciation and attitude of, I guess, having a good attitude and loving to work hard. I kind of look for, since I work an office job, I kind of look forward to doing hard labor and doing yard work. I actually really enjoy doing yard work and look forward to planting a garden and taking care of the grass and things like that outside. We don't have, like a huge yard, but it's something I look forward to and enjoy. And um, yeah, back to the, sun rays of just like yellow sun rays amongst dark, background, is like no matter how dark or dreary our circumstances may appear, whether self-inflicted or not, keeping a positive attitude, I think, goes a very long way. And that's a choice that we can make, is having a positive attitude. I think I touched on everything. I may retake that because I don't remember. It's been a few months since I created that logo, but I think I touched on everything. Anyway, so one final point I wanted to make is today's March 1st of 2026. Tomorrow, the second, EXO Mountain Gear, who, made this hat, they've helped me, their podcast, I should say, and their product, I guess, um, get more into the backpack hunting type style of hunting, which I'm not used to, but taking it as a challenge and trying to, be better hunter and just more effective. Tomorrow they're supposed to be coming out with a challenge for the sheep hunt challenge. Um, so this is kind of what pushed me over the edge. I've had this idea of doing this channel for a long time. Just to, again, something I'm passionate about, to talk about and do some things creative around my passion. Um, they want people to document this challenge. I'm not guaranteed a spot yet. And I'm not doing this hoping that they, like, I hope they choose me, but I'm not creating this channel to say like, oh, because I posted about it, I'm, should be chosen. Um, that kind of was the tipping point of me. Again, I've thought about doing this channel for a long time. Um, this has kind of been the tipping point to me of like, you should do this because they want you to document it. And this will be an easy way for me to document that journey, if I'm chosen for the challenge. But I still plan to do the challenges, even if I'm not part of the, I think 500 is what they are limiting it to. Um, But yeah, I'm gonna act like I'm going on a sheep hunt in August and preparing gear, and hope that people follow along if they want to. In regards to if I was going on a sheep hunt, this is what I'd be doing. These are the workouts I'd be doing, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I just want to say I appreciate the EXO guys coming up with this challenge. You know, them and others say, you know, do something to get yourself out there and do something that makes you uncomfortable. This does make me uncomfortable. I've never done, again, especially the creative part. I wouldn't say I'm creative. I don't like being in front of the camera. That's why I have a hard time making eye contact with the camera. It just feels weird talking to a camera to me. Um, but it's doing something that's uncomfortable to me, but still getting my creative self out there, which is hard for me. Um, I don't know. We'll see where this goes. But I appreciate them, you know, coming up with this challenge. It's, you know, again, was the tipping point for me to say, yes, you should do this. This has been in the works. You know, I've had this mic for like a year and a half, thinking like, yeah, I'll do it eventually. But this is, since they want this to be documented, it's kind of forcing me to say like, yeah, you should do this. Just create the channel. Since you're gonna have to document this anyway, if you're part of the challenge, you should just create the channel. So thanks to the EXO guys for coming up with this. This helped me to kind of push me to do this channel, and I think it'll be good for me to do. Um, yeah. So stick around if you're interested in, you know, how that goes. I'm interested to see tomorrow how the challenge goes. But even if I don't get part of the challenge, I still plan to continue the channel as far as the journal, so to speak. I may just refer to that short as like this is a journal for my family, and yeah, I think that's all that I have. Catch you guys on the next one.